Today I'm going to tell you what differentiates a normal software engineer from a great software engineer. My name is Chris. I'm working in the industry as a software engineer for now over 10 years. In this video I will mainly focus on 3 main principles and tell you how you yourself can become a great developer over time. Make sure to watch to the end of the video. The last principle is definitely the most important one. Communication skills. No, it's not like this that you become a great software developer by just constantly hacking and do not ever communicate with anyone. For me, this is more like a myth of the lone ninja coder that is like the greatest software developers. I have seen many people that can write good code, but are not very good at communicating. This is something you have to learn over time. Don't get me wrong, when I started out as a software developer, I think I also was not very good at communicating. I'm still not the best at it. This is why I still have to learn a lot, trying to improve on a daily basis. When it comes down to communication skills, why are these even important? When you are working on software, it is very common that you work in big teams, multiple teams, and at a certain point in time, it is necessary to communicate with each other or with other teams. What do you need is a strong sense of teamwork. Even when you're a freelancer, but you will work with other teams from other companies, people you don't know. Customer meetings. This is a tricky one. For me, it was very hard to learn this and I failed miserably in the beginnings at this discipline. But over time, you have to learn how to communicate with your customers. When I'm talking about communicating with customers, I mean you're usually not communicating with developers, product owners, project managers, higher level management. Yeah, that can be quite scary and tricky because unless you're lucky, these people do not really have a deep technical background. So you also have to learn how to communicate with non-technical people about your technical work. This is something you have to master over time if you really want to come forward. Confidence, self-confidence. You must be confident in your own solution. If you don't believe in your solution, why would they? For me, it came naturally over time because I was getting more and more comfortable talking to other people, improving my communication skills, and then I could confidently stand up for my solution. Hear me out, don't make this mistake and try to overpower everybody else's opinion with your ideas. Teamwork. You are in this together, so you also have to listen to the feedback that others giving you back. Context switch. Okay, this also sounds very scary because what we all learn is we should focus at one single topic at a time and we should do nothing else until we have completed this topic and have finished it and then move on with the next task. In reality, it's different. When you want more responsibility, with more say in decisions that are made on technology, you have to be able to focus on multiple topics on the same time. This does not mean you have to work at them at the same time. Keep them in your mind, bring them out when it's necessary. This is challenging. It's still challenging as today. One of the most testing skills, I would say, that you have to master as a software developer, because you constantly are forced to context switch. Incoming mails, Teams, chats, calls, meetings, whatever. All these things are thrown at you all the time, and the more you get involved into decision making, the more topics will be thrown at you at the same time, and you still have to be able to deal with it. And one thing I have learned is you can do it, but you also have to take your time. You have to learn, take your time, take things back with you from meetings. You do not have to jump the gun right away. It is not like there is one meeting, we make one decision, it's done, project's finished. It's not like that, trust me. Try to find some focus times. Depending on how many topics are thrown at you at once, this can be difficult because on some days there's no time left. But I'm pretty sure you still will find some day, and if it's not on the same day, not in the same week, but maybe next week, there will be a gap of a couple of hours where no meeting is scheduled. Switch your mind into a different settings, actively ignore other factors like emails, Teams, calls, and just focus on this one topic and bring it forward. And one thing that also helps a lot with this context switching and to not forget about this is to write it down in a notebook for best. It just helps you to concentrate and to remember things when you physically write them down. The most important thing, what makes a great software developer is constant learning. You have to be able to learn something new every day. Technology is moving faster and faster. There are constantly new trends, and it can be quickly overwhelming to try to find or test all of them. Do not make the opposite mistake and just ignore everything that you don't know. This is how, as a software developer, you will be left behind. There are some good methods to constant learn something new and to actively plan to learn something new or to set yourself goals. So this is something where it is beneficial if you're also working in a company who values their employees and the skill set of them. Do regular trainings, courses, maybe certifications. They should be focused on a certain skill set that you yourself want to invest in yourself and that also your company is willing to invest. Good examples for me were software architecture, really focused on something that I will not be able to learn in my day-to-day job. Make a course, a training with professional trainers and try to actively learn something new which you think of and also your boss thinks of, which will benefit you over time. A good example for this are soft skills. Hard to develop these skills when you're just working in your day-to-day job. It will be much more efficient if you take some impulses from the outside within a course for how to communicate with team members, how to communicate with customers. This is something I highly encourage you to do. It helped me a lot. And I really understood why are they asking questions the way they do? Why do they speak to customers the way they do? There's a method behind that. It is a skill also you have to learn. It can be learned by everyone and it will improve your career as a software developer tremendously. Move out of your shell once in a while. You can do this in a couple of ways. Visit a software developer conference. Why exactly would I do that? Why do I want to go there? Everything I can learn online these days. You're correct, but it is something completely different to physically remove you from a project and just soak everything up. It is so much fun to listen to all the stuff that's out there in the world. New trends, technologies, new products are also showcased at these conferences. What are they making? How can your company benefit from it? Keep your eyes and ears open and you will learn a lot on these conferences. Look at new technologies you do not use today within your project. You could use it and ask yourself, why are we not using it? Fiddle around with it, make a passion project out of it. Maybe you can even do it at work if you have like a 80-20 rule at your workplace. This is the perfect opportunity to test out new things and to learn something new. And it will highly benefit you as a developer. You will understand much more than just your own project. So I'm convinced that these few but very important tips will help you to either start a successful career as a software developer or grow further as a developer. This is what helped me, and I have risen through the ranks from like a junior developer with basically almost no clue of programming and working in a team to becoming a technical lead, working with many teams, many customer meetings I have to attend. These couple of pointers that I have given you, they still apply to me. So I invite you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment what has helped you to become the great developer you are. Thank you for watching. See you next time.